In May of 2009, 34 aspiring writers attempted to collectively author a complete work of fiction in only 3 weeks' time. They succeeded. In a community literacy project called Build-A-Book, they built the foundation of what would later become an experience in intensive literacy for classrooms everywhere. With Build-A-Book Academic, your class collectively writes a book together. Using a provided outline for their grade level, the students each write the detail of their own section. In this multi-curriculum project, the class works collaboratively and learns lessons in editing, grammar, creative writing, even in art and communication. In fact, any lesson that one learns when writing a book will be encountered in the process of Build-A-Book Academic. In late 2009, the 6th grade class of Karen Teed of the Northwestern Middle School in Albion, Pennsylvania, completed a Build-A-Book Academic project. Using the Build-A-Book Academic 6th grade outline, her class wrote the book The Adventures of Laycock Avenue, which they shared with everyone. The following interview was with Karen Teed, teacher of that 6th grade class, and concerns her experience with Build-A-Book Academic. Could you tell us a little bit about you and your school?
The name of my school is Northwestern Middle School in Albion, Pennsylvania, and we are about 20 miles south of Erie. I've been teaching at Northwestern for 23 years as a 6th grade language arts teacher. Went to your workshop at the University for Literacy. I thought, you know, I like to write. Writing has always been one of my loves here. So when I went, I learned about your Build-A-Book. And so I came right back because being an old teacher, I need to learn new tricks to keep the kids interested. So we attempted your Build-A-Book.
How many students were in the class that did your project?
In this particular class, we had 26 students.
And did all of them participate?
Yes, they did. They all participated.
How did your students react when you told them about the project?
The students were very excited. They were very excited because this was something they had never done either. So they were just running into class, literally running into class and saying, are we going to write today? Are we going to write today?
What problems did you think you might encounter with the project?
The problem I encountered was I didn't know how we were going to have the transition from chapter to chapter to keep the story flowing right. I didn't really think we were going to have any problems with coming up with a storyline to keep it going. It was just the transition from the chapters.
And how exactly did you assign the chapters?
I let the kids choose because I thought that would be more productive, being our first book, but they got to choose what they wanted to do.
Did they seem to pick things that they could relate to more, or how do you think they went about choosing?
I think a little bit of everything. I think they picked because of the titles that you gave us, the chapter titles. I thought they really looked into them more and took all out on their own experiences, and they took like some characters of our own school and brought them into the book.
How did you decide on details such as names and places and so forth?
I let the kids decide.
Was there a group consensus, or was there debate within the class, or?
It was, we had like the students chose like 3 to 5 different titles, or, and then we voted on them. The book title, it was one of our girls that everything she does is always backwards. So ours is the Laycock Avenue, which is cockatiel spelled backwards.
So what benefits were derived from the project?
Oh, there are multiple benefits. One, the sequencing of putting something together. They worked collaboratively. They had to listen to one another. We worked on grammar skills, editing skills, everything that involves writing and thinking and listening and speaking, and even the artwork. So this was a multi-curriculum project.
Would you recommend it to other teachers?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
How do you think the story might be different if written by another class in another school?
My goodness. I think they might have picked, a different activity with the bird. that went through this day experiences when the bird gets lost or flies out of the cage, I think they would have come up with a totally different scenario with the bird. I mean, the storyline would have been the same, but I just think they would have had the bird do a multitude of different things.
Now, in your story, the bird, the cockatiel, seemed to have a very nice personality, very nice disposition. Can you envision another 6th grade class writing the same story with, say, the opposite personality, maybe an evil cockatiel? How do you think that would play out?
I think the reason our cockatiel was so nice was because the students, they all had wonderful personalities. And I think a lot of their own personal personalities came through in this book. They were not angry, they were not hateful or spiteful. They were just good kids that really wanted to write a positive story, and it just showed through.
How long did it take you to do the project?
I think it only took us about 3 weeks from the time we started till we finished.
And after you had the manuscript in book form and so forth, what did you do with the books?
We brought the books in. The kids took time to read the books. We had a book signing day. We shared them with our parents. We shared them with the media. We just shared.
I heard that there was actually, it was mentioned in a newspaper article in a nearby city. Did you see that article?
No, I did not. Really?
Yeah, it had a picture of your cover and mentioned had all your kids listed and everything. I have a copy of the article.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
No, it was in our local town paper for Erie, and with all their names, and the parents were just elated, and grandparents, and they even sent them to other states. You know, we had many parents that sent them to grandparents in California or Florida.
Did you get any feedback from the parents or grandparents?
Oh, the parents loved it. The parents loved it. I've had parents, since I've switched from 6th grade to 8th grade this year, said, oh, I hope my child can do next year so that they can write another book.
So what would you say to other teachers about Build-A-Book Academic?
I would just say, go for it. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. The kids will make it be what they want it to be, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to make the kids be individuals and show their personalities and their talents. So go for it.
In the end, what makes Build-A-Book Academic innovative and unique is the use of common outlines across grade levels. Imagine dozens or even hundreds of 6th grade classes writing the same story, only different. With a different outline for each grade level, the project can be repeated throughout the student's academic career, without ever writing the same story twice. Inexpensive, easy to implement in your classroom, and innovative, Build-A-Book Academic will fire up your students. Writing will become not just an assignment, but a contribution, each student part of the team. The book that their class writes will be unique, and will be something that they, and you, look back on with pride. Thank you for the opportunity to tell you about this exciting project. Build-A-Book Academic is available from Amazon.com or in bulk quantities at BaylaPublishing.com. So go back to your class and give your students the good news. They're not going to read a book together. They're going to write a book together. Build-A-Book Academic, an experience in intensive literacy.